Hi everyone, Tracy Taylor here from Taylor Made Transformations. Today I want to talk a little bit more about self-worth and another component of self-worth and self-love. And for the topic I want to talk about today is food. And I know a lot of people think that that's a really outrageous claim, to think that food has anything to do with self-love. And truthfully, it has a lot to do with self-love. I find a lot of people come to me on the journey they're in, they have health problems. I started off years ago just strictly health coaching, and as the years have gone on, I've evolved to do life coaching, but health coaching is still a huge part of what I do, and it's a huge passion of mine. My journey, my personal journey, started with health issues, and it was really how I began to learn to love myself again. And that's where I get a lot of clients. They come in with health issues, and we get them working on that, and slowly the bits and pieces start to fall together. It's all a process. But I find that the quality of food is very reflective of the quality of life. If you are not happy with your life for whatever reasons, whether it's your job, your relationship, your finances, you're depressed, you're anxious, you're fearful, all of that is going to reflect in the choices of the food you make. And I firmly believe in exercise. I exercise 6-7 days a week, just depends. And we'll talk about exercise on another video, but food is a huge component of this. And to make the changes in your health and your body, depending on what your goals are, you really need to get the diet dialed in. And I find there's a huge difference, a huge difference between somebody who stops at the convenience store and picks up a bag of, say, nuts and a water, as opposed to somebody who stops and gets a soda and a bag of Doritos. There's a huge difference in the way those two people feel about themselves. And for someone to say that there's not, they're incorrect. When you make food choices of processed junk, you are ultimately saying that you do not feel good about yourself. Now, we all eat junk every now and then. Folks, please don't get me wrong. I still have the occasional pizza and whatever. My junk foods are generally probably a little bit more healthy than what most people would consider a junk food, but I still splurge, and everybody needs that. But I don't eat food that comes out of a box. I don't eat food that comes out of a bag unless it's like rice or something like that. I generally tell people to stick to food that doesn't have a list of ingredients. It's just rice, not rice and a million other things in it that you can't even pronounce. When you stick to real, healthy, whole food, and I know that a lot of people start to say, well, cost is an issue, but the truth of the matter is that you can't really put a price on yourself. And what you make a priority is what you will do. We all do it. We've all make excuses for things that we really don't want to do. So when you get to a place in your life where you want change, you will do what's necessary to make the changes. We all do. We're all able to somehow or another find a way to make changes when we're ready to. I can't tell you when you're ready. Only you can do that. As a coach, I help people, I guide them along. I'm here for accountability, for questions, but I can't make somebody do something. So usually when people reach me, they're at a point in their life where they're ready to make a big commitment and a big change. And what starts off to be for health reasons or just you want to change your body for the way you look, it ends up to be so much more, because once you start to give yourself real food, your body's finally getting nourished and you're not eating junk. And I know it's a huge thing to put on food, and a lot of people think that it seems really far-fetched, but it's not. You really begin, your outlook on life begins to change because you're getting the nourishment. These foods that we're eating nowadays are linked to so much stuff, diabetes and a lot of the food allergies. A lot of people have food allergies, they don't even realize they have food allergies. I really think a lot of foods, if they're not eaten in moderation, really can cause depression, anxiety. When you feel good about yourself because you're eating well and you're taking care of your body, that reflects in every other thing that you do. So it seems like a small thing, but in reality it's a huge thing, because you change the way you feel about you, and that changes so much of what you do. And I find that people are often really so focused on what they're putting in their mouths and how to stop it, but instead they should be focusing on what's not coming out of their mouth, your true voice. And I think a lot of times that's where the disconnect is that we're eating and eating and eating. We're not really hungry, and we're doing it just to kind of to keep ourselves from saying what we need to really say to some people, to stop trying to please every single person, because you can't please everyone. To take care of you first, because you can't take care of anyone until you take care of you. We need to focus on why is it that we're trying to just eat and eat and eat, and what we're trying to get from it. We're trying to derive some kind of pleasure or stop some kind of pain. And when we really begin to focus on why and get to the core issues, then we can make the changes that need to be made. And if you can't buy organic food, I really prefer to eat as much organic as you can, especially if it's something you eat or drink regularly. Like, I'm a huge coffee drinker, and I drink organic coffee just because I drink a lot of coffee. Anything that you eat or drink a lot of, those would be the first things that I would change to organic if your budget can afford it. But otherwise, just eat real food, folks. That's way better than anything that you can buy from a box. It's better than any change that you can make. And I also don't advocate making huge changes right away on people. I believe in taking baby steps. I really do. Unless you're ready to make a radical change. Some people are just ready to jump into this lifestyle full force, and they do really well with it. But if that's not most people. Most people do well with little changes. And so I tell people, make one change a week. Start with the one thing you eat or drink the most, and turn it either into something organic or real, or remove it from your diet, and make one change weekly. You will see, once you begin to eat real food and you keep it simple and you just have real food, nothing from a box, unless it has just a couple of real ingredients that you can pronounce, you will see how it will really honestly begin to change your outlook. And you will start to reclaim some of the love that you have for yourself, because by choosing only to eat wholesome food, you are saying, I am worth this. I am worth making these changes in my life, and it's just a small step. It's just food. I'm worth making this change, and once you get that, then you can move on to the next step. Whether it's exercise or dealing with relationship issues or whatever, that's different for every client. But for a lot of clients, it starts right here. I hope that helps someone. And if you get a chance, I'd love for you guys to run over to my YouTube channel, Taylor Made Transformations. If you would please like, subscribe, comment, share my videos, I'd appreciate it. Have a great day, guys.